Look, as far as your squad is concerned, do you have any new concerns or not?
No new concerns come out the games and the fixtures of late. All good. Few tired bodies which you're trying to repair a little bit, but nothing out of the ordinary at this point of the season. So yeah, all fit really.
Good. Look, I don't know what the weather's like in your part of the world. Where I am, there's still quite a bit of snow. Has this affected your preparations at all? Can you do as much outside as you would like?
Yeah, no, we've been okay. We obviously got the downpour on the weekend, and that we struggled with that a little bit. Certainly, the match day and the pitch struggled a little bit. But other than that, to be fair, it was only that day. So we've been fine in terms of preparing. Training pitches have been fine in terms of the snow and the frost. So yeah, we've been all good to prepare well for the game.
Look, away to Brighton on Wednesday, away to West Bromwich Albion on Saturday. Brighton just above you in the table, West Brom just below you in the table. Could the next few days be pivotal for your season, do you think?
I think they're big. I don't think they're the be all and end all. We're halfway through a season here. Of course, they're big because of where both teams are in and around the division and where our competition will probably be this year. So, look, I think while I don't think that they're the be all and end all, I think there's still a lot of games. I still feel as a team we're improving and we've developed. I feel like I have a team here that can go and win 2-3 games back to back, and people may think that that's mad to think because we've won 2 all year and we've had a few draws, but that's the way I feel. And when you have that feeling and you are around where we are in the table, that they could be massive. So look, I think we all understand big games coming up for us. We've come out of a run of fixtures over the last 9 games where we've played 7 of the biggest teams in the division, the toughest teams, and we've done pretty well. We now need to take this next step in which are games in and around us, teams in and around us, and we need to try and get some results.
Yeah, and just what would it mean to rediscover that winning feeling?
Yeah, I think it's like anything. Every game we go into, we're planning to win football matches, and we've fallen a little tiny bit short. Certainly over the last 6 or 7 games against very good opposition, and the fine margins of this division have probably give us a defeat or they give us a draw. But look, there's no denying the fact that you want to win football matches, and you need to develop as a team and to keep going in the right direction. I think that's something we've done very well this year during the times when we could have felt sorry for ourselves, or the times when we've certainly been well beat or felt way off it. We've managed to quickly focus and refocus on the next game and keep that belief here. And of course, when games start getting low, then you realise that it's more challenging. But at this present moment in time, that's where we need to be. Keep a belief about us, keep improving, and then hopefully, you get the results you deserve.
Sure. Look, you had that run of draws, the matches then against Chelsea and Manchester United. The defeat to Burnley in the FA Cup at the weekend, you made a lot of changes, 8 changes, I think. Is that a setback, or do you just have to disregard that completely?
Well, it's a setback, of course it is, because we went into the game fully wanting to win the game, get through into the next round, and do well in the competition. As whether you make 8 changes or not, you every game you go into, you want to be competitive and you want to win it. So yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment, obviously, to concede the goals and the game to go like that. But like I said, we've been on a few setbacks this year, and we now go back into the league. That's our sole focus now. We're out of all competitions other than the league, and that's our main drive now. And we need to reboot, reset, and bring a performance that we have brought over the last few months. And like I said, hopefully get results.
Are you still thinking that it's unlikely you'll be getting anybody in between now and the end of the month?
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for us, to be honest with you. So yeah, look, I think, like I've said, I think we understand where we need to improve. We're a team that have just come up from the Championship, and the void and the gap between the teams what are established in this division is huge. And obviously, you obviously need to try and be competitive in the division. You need to evolve and bring players in. At the same time, the balance of expenditure and where a realism of where you are and where your struggles may be, really. So I think at this moment in time, it looks like it's going to be a challenge for us, and it's going to be difficult in terms of bringing players in. And if that's the case, then of course I understand, and we all understand the situation and where we are. But I have a group here, and we have a group here that have improved drastically over the last few months, and if we can continue to do that, then we may give ourselves a chance.
I know you probably get asked in every press conference about Stefan Johansson, but we're hearing he's had a medical at QPR. Is that something that you are now expecting to happen?
Yeah, I'm expecting that to happen. So Steph will go there to play some games and get some football. Obviously, big summer, so I'm expecting that one to go through.
And in terms of other departures, Jean Seri and Miskins Cabano, is he someone you would be willing to see go out on loan?
Well, look, I think at the moment, Ian, where we are in terms of players coming in and the balance of the squad, I'm not going to be really brought into who exactly is going to go out. I think it's clear that the squad is quite big in terms of numbers. So there's an option for certainly players to maybe go and get some football, and we'll decide that in no doubt in the coming days.
But the big talking point in the last 24 hours in the Premier League, I suppose, has been Frank Lampard's departure from Chelsea. I'm guessing that he's someone you know fairly well, played together both at club level and at international level. Have you been in touch with him at all?
I just had a little text regarding the situation. I'm gutted for Frank, another young English-British manager, and obviously disappointed for him, because I think he'll know too well, Frank, that obviously when we decide to go into what we're going into, the fragileness of what we're in and the vulnerability of it is that, as much as we all probably understand that with time, with patience, with the right process in place, things will get better if you've got your right man in the job, and I've no doubt that was the case with Chelsea and Frank. But I think we all realise that in football, time, patience, and that doesn't exist, and you're always a few bad results, and especially when you're at Chelsea, you're always a few bad results away from it coming down on you. So look, I know what Frank is. I know what he's made of. I've been around him for some time now, and the character and what he is as a man, no doubt, will recharge, and he'll come back stronger than ever.
Ultimately, will what's happened then make him stronger, make him better?
Yeah, of course. They're the moments. The moments where people get stronger, you get better, are the moments during which you struggle, or you have your struggles, you have disappointment. It's the same as a football team. You're trying to develop a football team. Normally you find that the moments of development, or the moments where you come stronger and better, is not during the good times, it's the bad ones. So look, Frank's had many a disappointment in his career. Of course, he had a glowing career, and everyone sees that, but he'll be the first to say that it was during them hard times, from when he was a kid to his career, that what made him the person and the player he was.
Scott, listen, thank you very much for that. Wish you well, especially these next two matches.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Anne-Marie, Premier League Productions, please.
Hi, Scott. Hope you're well. Hello. Just picking up on Ian's point, actually, where he used the word pivotal in his question to you about how big this game is. When I was doing my research, there was a lot of other words that kept coming up, that this is a game changer for Fulham, that this is huge, that this is massive. But you don't see it like that. You just see this as another game, another potential 3 points.
Yeah, I see exactly. I understand that it's a big game, and the reason it's a big game is because of where both teams are in the division, and that's why people judge it for that. But it was a big game 2 weeks ago against whoever it was, and it was a big game against Sheffield United 2-3 months ago. Of course, the longer the season goes and the nearer you get towards the end of the season, games become more intense, and they became the words you suggest there become more relevant. But there's 20 games left in this season, and we're halfway through. So do I see this game as being the be all and end all? And if we don't get a result, our fate is done. No, I don't. I honestly don't. And while I also understand it's a big game, every game's big for us. Every game this season, and I think we've shown that over the last few months. We can compete in this division, and we do need to turn these draws and some of these little losses into wins. I have no doubt about that, and we understand that, and hopefully we can do that against Brighton, West Brom, Leicester at home, the other teams what we face coming up.
What are the chances of Bobby Reid and Adam Lowe carrying up the match tomorrow and giving Lewis Dunk his back line?
There's options there, and every game causes different problems, and Brighton are a very good side. They have a good structure about them, the way they play, a very good team, and in their back three there, I think they have probably a back three which are arguably some of the best in the division, to be honest with you. So of course I think we all understand where their threats are, and we need to work out the best plan to try and nullify that and try and cause them problems. So the two you mentioned, there's options there for us, and we need to work out what's best to go about that.
You used the word nullify there. I was going to use that for my next question. How important is it to nullify the threat of Neil Maupay?
Yeah, it is. Look, they're a good side. They probably shouldn't be in and around where they are, because they're, like I said, I think Graham's done a fantastic job with the team. I think they have individuals in their team. They've been operating around this Premier League now for some time, hence the quality they have in their squad. They've been able to finance that with players, and like you mentioned, Trossard, Maupay, are just some that can cause you problems. So yeah, we'll be fully aware of how to deal with them.
And finally, from me, you mentioned that we're 20 games in, we're halfway through the season now. Can you just give me some insight from your point of view, a personal perspective, what it's like, what it has been like coaching in the Premier League?
It's been fantastic, really. I think as a team and as a group, we come into this division with very little lead-in time. We went Wembley. Our season went a lot longer than others, and we was playing within 3 weeks of that. So turnaround's not been big. A new group of players, a lot of new players coming in. So that transition period of trying to develop them players and then players settling in has been exciting. And while we all understand, and I'm the first to understand that we're in a results business and everyone's going to judge us on results. I've probably judged us on the progression of this team and the progression of where we're coming from, and I see a team developing. I see a team improving. I see a team now what can compete in this division against arguably the best in it, and our last run of games have proven that. So look, the fine margin of this league and the challenges we face them every week, and they are challenges, but they're one we're relishing. I certainly am, and my coaching staff are. Of course, we'd like the results to be better, but I do see it. I do see an improvement, and I do see that if we carry on in this vein, that we can get them results.
Thanks, Scott. Best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Andy Rowley, BBC London.
Hi, Scott. Just wanted to ask you about Pep Guardiola was fulsome in his praise for Graham Potter a couple of weeks ago, saying just how much he admired him as a coach and how his team play. Why is it that they aren't maybe further up, given what you said about them as well? Because they do get a lot of praise for the way they play. Obviously, the Premier League has got so many good players and good teams, but what can you see that they can maybe move on and maybe get higher up?
I mean, I'm not. I've watched them in terms of when we prepare for games, so I've not watched loads and loads of Brighton. What I can tell you is exactly like you've said there. I think they're a very, very good footballing side, a lovely footballing side, can cause you real problems, a real structure about them in the way they play, some specific movements, a very well coached team. like anything, when you're developing a team, there's always the next thing to improve. And I was just looking at the stuff this morning on goal expectancies and stuff like that. And the fine margins of these divisions, and I'm sure Graham's constantly looking at that, like we all are. Where can we improve? Okay, what's the next step? We've built this. We've got this structure about us. I like this about us, but this is an area now we need to now, and I'm sure that's ongoing really. So like I said, I think they're a very good side without really giving you too much detail, because obviously I've not studied them too much. That what I have seen of them when I'm facing them is they're a good side that can cause you problems.
When you look at a team, when you're coming up to play them like this, how much do you sort of think about Lewis Dunk's threat at set pieces, or Yves Bissouma's, the way he can move the ball and get shots off? I mean, do you make plans specifically for players like that, or do you concentrate way more on what you're going to do to them?
Yeah, both really. Not individual plans so much. As a team and as a unit, how we need to go about this in terms of out of possession, the problems we're going to face, problems they can oppose us and cause us, and how we're going to counteract that and nullify that. Main focus after that is us and how we can hurt them and their weaknesses, or where they struggle, and the areas they may struggle in. And so that's the main process. Of course, set plays is a threat, and that's probably more precise in terms of personnel. But we'll plan going into this game both ways, in and out of possession, and hopefully we can get the job done.
And there's been so much to be positive about, given how close you ran Man United, Chelsea, the way you played at Tottenham. Given the way you're now seeing those performances from the likes of Joachim and Tosin and Ademola and Kenny, players that you brought in, is there any sort of disappointment that you didn't maybe get the players sooner at the start of the season, so that you could have hit the ground running a bit quicker at the start?
Yeah, of course there is. And of course there's, not disappointed, but I think you also understand that you miss 4 games of the season, 4 games, which are always crucial. And while football clubs are obviously always trying to work out the best deal, some players maybe not available and they come available late on, and the dynamics of that, any manager will tell you, the quicker you can establish your squad, the quicker you can get players in the building, is always a plus, because adaptation, training techniques, what they've come from, what they're coming into, a philosophy, a style, what you want from them, takes time, and to narrow that gap down and to bring them in quicker is vitally important. I think our results and our performances have suggested that. You look at our performances since the window's shut and everyone knows where they are and the work's gone into the players, we've done remarkably well. So of course that is the case, while also I understand the difficulties of it.
Just last one from me. I just wanted to ask as well about, I know that there's so much of the season still to go, but if there was a defeat in this game, the gap would be more significant. Do you look back at what some moments in your career where, for instance, at West Ham, where there were maybe players who could get nervous in these situations? Are you able to sort of not put that pressure on players to just go out and play their game on occasions like this?
Yeah, totally. That's what normally sends teams down. Of course, in the end, you may be finished and you may get relegated. And what you see a lot of the time is players have a real focus on the negative, and in the end, it paralyses them, that they can't really perform. And certainly, you have you die too early. I suppose that's what I mean. There's half a season left here. There's 20 games left here. Do I believe in this team? Do I believe that we can go and win 2-3 on the bounce? 100% I do, and that's not being deluded in any way. That's the way I see it, and I understand people may see that as that being the case, but I see a team here developing in the right way. We need to not listen to the noise and not listen to the negativity. If we'd have done that at the start of the season, I think this group of players would have been long gone by now, and you wouldn't have seen a drastic improvement like you have. This is a team that keep believing, that keep understanding our situation and where we're going to be, and have a real realist about us, that we are going to be in and around it this year. That's the facts. We're going to have to be happy being 5 points adrift, 4 points adrift, 1 point the other side of it. That's where it is. What we can't afford is performance to drop, or our energy and our belief that, you know what, we need to keep improving and getting better. If that's the case, then it's going to be a long 20 games. And look, my voice, and when you ask me this question with 5, 6, 7 games to go, may be different, of course, because by then maybe it's becoming a lot more difficult. But right now, that's not the case, and we'll keep fighting and keep improving like we are.